do, trying to pin the leader behind lap cars and everything else, trying to keep him going a lap down himself.
And now he'll fight to stay the first car a lap down, where if we get that caution, he'll get the free pass and be back on the lead lap.
And over on the right, the DEI teammates, Truex in the 1 and Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8. Battling, that's back at 6th place. Kurt Busch has moved up to 5th. While we were away, Kenny Wallace had the window net come loose on the driver's side of his car. That's a mandatory safety feature. He had to stop to repair it and dropped a lap.
And that's a 78 car right there behind Kevin Harvick. And I think when they came in to put the window net up, they also put fresh tires on that car. That just shows you what fresh tires will do for you. And there is caution on the speedway.
Have to check and see whether Sterling Marlin or Juan Pablo Montoya will be the car that would get the free pass. It depends on whether or not Harvick, there's the debris between 3 and 4.
Now that's just rubber. That's all that is. That's just a wad of, it's a wad of rubber. These cars, they pick it up and it'll fall out from under the car.
And the call from NASCAR is metal debris up in 3 and 4.
Maybe a little further up there.
Yep. There are some.
That's tape.
Montoya will get the free pass. He was the first car 1 lap down. At the scoring loop, the cars passed immediately prior to the caution flag coming out. So caution is out for the 4th time, and pit road is open. Everybody on the lead lap can pit this time. Krista.
Tony Stewart heated on the radio because he wants to race. He's tired of cautions. He said his car is just a little bit free. Steve Burns.
Jeff Burton says the biggest place I'm getting loose is getting into turn 1. My rear grip is better, but I'm struggling in the center. Dick?
Junior, consistently running in the top 10, says the car is 60% loose, 40% tight, and he has let the crew decide what to fix it. Matt.
Leader Kevin Harvick says the car is still too free on exit. Great stop by the Shell Pennzoil guys. They made an air pressure adjustment of both rear tires in the previous stop. Made another air pressure adjustment this time as well.
Hey, the guys that rose to the occasion that time, Greg Zeppedelli in that 20 car with Tony Stewart, I know they only gained 1 position, but they had an awesome stop.
31 had some sort of issue.
There's another guy at a great pit stop. Matt Kenseth, that 17.
The Subway Fresh Fit 500 on Fox is sponsored by Subway Restaurants. Subway, eat fresh.
Talladega, baby.
It's all about bump drafting. You'll either avoid disaster or you'll be a disaster.
Whoa, I've got trouble right there.
And look how many cars pile in.
Avoid the big one.
The winner can come from anywhere in the pack.
They're rubbing everything they got.
Jimmy Johnson holds off Tony Stewart and wins the Arrow for 199.
Talladega, here we come.
The big long freight train drafts. Can you hold your breath all day? That's the kind of racing at Talladega.
Biggest problem we have there is counting lead changes, and that's at the start-finish line. Doesn't count anywhere else on the racetrack.
Denny Hamlin gained 2 spots on pit road. He's now 13th. Jeff Burton lost 3 spots on pit road. They just had a bad spot. The crew said, the crew said. It's Kevin Hamlin, or rather Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, and Jimmy Johnson on the restart.
But what makes it tough for Denny Hamlin? Yeah, he's 13th, but with that long inside line of lap down cars, it's like restarting in 26th back there.
New leader, Tony Stewart. Puts Big Orange out front for the first time tonight.
I believe they just keep making that 20 car better and better with every stop.
Yeah, I do too. And you heard him say, you know, I want to do some racing here. Let's quit having all these cautions. So that means he must have a pretty good race car.
A win would be a nice birthday present for his crew chief, Greg Zippodelli. This is a big O birthday for Zippy. 4-0. Krista?
Well, Tony and his team know they actually do not have the best handling car, but like you said, they're sticking to their plan of making their adjustments. Something else they have in their back corner, the fact that Tony knows every inch of this track. He has raced 6 different types of cars at this track. He knows 5 different lines of how to get around, everything from USAC Silver Crowns, midgets, modifies as well as his Busch and Nextel Cup cars. He is very comfortable at PIR.
Yeah, Krista, one of those wins came in his rookie season here back in 1999 in the Nextel Cup car.
And I really don't think you know how good your car is until you get it out front like this. And it's going to be a whole different car, I believe, if you get out front and get all that clean air on it.
Kenny Wallace a lap down in the 78. Trying to hold off Martin Truex in the 1, Kurt Busch in the 2.
See Jamie McMurray right there in the 26 car started the race on the outside of the front row. Right now he's 1 lap down because of having to come to pit road under green, overheating, and Denny Hamlin just continues to march back to the front as he battles Carl Edwards for 12th, and I mean literally battling.
Hamlin, teammate of the race leader Tony Stewart, who was leading this race when a penalty put him to the back.
Well, you know, between he and Tony Stewart, the two Gibbs drivers, they dominated the first 2 car tomorrow races by leading all kinds. Tony, I don't know what he lead, 250 laps at Bristol, and they led the most laps, about 50% of the laps that's been run in the COT.
And J.J. Yaley, who's from Phoenix, still in the top 20.
It'd be nice to see J.J. have a really good run here. It's his home track. It's his hometown. It'd be really nice to see him get a good finish tonight. He seemed really pumped for the race.
Especially having that terrible luck at Texas last week. Got caught up in that lap 1 crash.
There's Yaley in the 18, just ahead of Dale Jarrett. And we're hearing there may be something amiss with Dale Jr. as you watch Ryan Newman move to the inside. The number 8, let's listen in.
Unless the fuel's spilling out in the trunk or getting in the back of the car because my eyes burn like hell after y'all fill it up and I can smell it. All right, good pull.
Dick Berggren?
Well, it's just when they fill the car that he has the problems with the fumes bothering him, Mike, and the crew really isn't sure what's causing that. Reminder, this is the car tomorrow. A lot of new stuff here, and somehow or another, fumes from gasoline as they're pouring the fuel in the car is bothering his eyes. A reminder, at Martinsville, remember he had dirt in his eye and yet managed to lead 137 laps there and finish 5th.
And the only thing I can figure out, pretty much the fuel cell, the way you fuel it, everything in the trunk area is the same car tomorrow, the current car. I'm not sure that would have anything to do with it, but Darrell, there's a hose there, and maybe it's leaking when it's filling up with fuel.
I think one of the things, we talked about the unleaded fuel a number of times and how it affects the engine, but I also believe there's an effect there that goes on with all these fuel or raw fuel we see burning out the tailpipes. I think there's more fumes there than maybe we're used to because of the unleaded fuel. And who knows, maybe the foam is smoldering again.
You know, another car I've been watching since the start of the race, Bobby Labonte in that 43 car. He started back in the 26th position. He's been hanging just outside the top 15 right now, right behind Carl Edwards, sitting back there in 16th position. Good solid run so far as we're just past halfway. Looks like he's going to get to the inside of Carl Edwards. But you can see how those rotors are glowing as we got a battle chalking up here for second place with Harvick and Gordon.
You know, I noticed that Jeff Gordon on this last go-round before this caution here, man, they're rubbing each other pretty good right there. I noticed that Jeff Gordon's car had gotten considerably better. He was actually chasing down, I forget who was leading at the time. It was Harvick. He was actually chasing him down, and you see here he's going by.
Jeff Gordon's 24 started on the pole. Here comes his teammate to the inside, Jimmy Johnson. Bold move there, diving under Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, kind of Kevin lost his momentum as Jeff went by on the outside. It gave Jimmy a chance to shoot to the inside and make what he hopes to be a pass here.
Fighting for third.
Got to be really careful driving off into these corners side by side like that. A little slip up on the guy on the inside, and somebody's going to go for a slide.
And we see that a lot in these long sweeping corners.
Now just ahead of these two, we're told that Jeff Gordon has a left front tire rubbing on his DuPont Chevy.
Well, that's probably when he and the 29 made a little contact.
Now, the problem with these two guys running side by side is they're losing almost 0.4 of a second to our leader, Tony Stewart, right now. They're running 29 flat. He's sitting up there running 28 50s and 60s.
Right,
and
Larry.
Matt Kenseth is catching them in that 17.
Kenseth's catching them, and Jeff Gordon's driving away from them.
I think they just got the message.
Yep. This battle has to resolve itself.
Stop playing games and get in line. Because you can choke each other down here the way they were running there. You just lose all your momentum.
And here comes Kenseth in the 17.
What you want is a car to work nicely on the outside like Kenseth is in 1 and 2, and then be able to run the bottom in 3 and 4. That's the best way around this racetrack.
See if we can spot where Jeff Gordon got that damage on the left front.
Boy, those rotors on the 29 are red hot. Let's see what we got here, guys. Yeah, that's what I thought. He and Harvick, they get really close together. Yeah, that's not much. It's not much, but it doesn't take much. Got to remember that's in slow-mo.
Didn't even scuff the paint off of Harvick's car.
And Steve Letarte talking to Todd Berrier right there. Todd Berrier, Kevin Harvick's crew chief. It's like, God, what are we doing here? Neighbors.
Phoenix is a 1-mile track, so NASCAR classifies it as a super speedway. But it races much like a short track, and that puts a premium on brakes. Jeff Hammond.
Mike, all night long we've been talking about how these rotors on these cars have been glowing. These big brakes, just like we raced at Martin,